Okay, we're going to take a quick look at race 7 on the card from Flemington on Thursday. We found one here at fairly good odds. Plato goes around as a 25 to 1 chance in this race, which we're fairly keen on. From the Mick Price yard, lightly raced type by Piero out of the Danehill mare Skates. Piero's starting to get a couple of smart types in the early side of the 3-year-old season with his first crop of 3-year-olds, as expected, really starting to train on. Piero himself won the 2-year-old Triple Crown, but on the bottom side of his pedigree himself, he's pretty stoutly bred, so it's all expected that his progeny would train on in their 3-year-old season. He's starting to show that now. This one came out and broke its maiden at Bendigo last time out, where it beat Bassanite and Pention. Beat Bassanite 1.2 lengths, but put a good margin back to third that day. Sort of adding a good bit of depth to the form out of the race. Bassanite, who finished second, came out and won next start. He's by Fastnet Rock. He's a well-bred type. He came out and won at Echuca next time out. And prior to that, he'd been tried against main stage in the UCI Stakes. Third home, Pention was beaten 4.2 lengths. He came out and was only beaten 0.7 of a length by Skilled Assassin next time out. But more importantly, prior to that, he was only 3.1 lengths off Hiam at Ballarat, and then 3.7 lengths off Red Shoes. There's a good line through Red Shoes, even though Hiam's a great line itself, but there's a good line through Red Shoes back to Emma Tensha, adding a fair bit of good depth in Oceans 14. The other good line to come out of the race is Barney Allen and All Aboard Gypsy. They're also good lines, who finished 4th and 5th that day. Barney Allen's by Striker. He came out and won next start at Mortlake, but more importantly, 2 starts earlier, he was beaten 5 lengths by Lord Sundowner at Geelong. Lord Sundowner gives us a good line back to Snitzerpeg. He came out and finished second to Snitzerpeg 2 starts later after winning at Echuca next time out by a wide 4.5 length margin, making it 2 on end, really franking the form there. And the 5th force home, All Aboard Gypsy, is by Bullet Train, the full brother to Frankel. The start prior, he was beaten by Irish Vega at Bendigo, 4.9 lengths, where he really didn't come into the race. He was out the back the whole way and really didn't come into the race. But the next start, he was beaten 5.7 by Plato. He's shown obviously improvement there and still been beaten a further margin, suggesting that Plato there has also got the line on the Irish Vega line as well. Plato going 1,800 metres is going to prove again here. From a breeding perspective, he's pretty stoutly bred top and bottom. And some people will miss out on that factor. And the way that he finished off over the 1,600 at when he broke his maiden was pretty strong too. As we say, he's by Piero, but Piero himself's out of a Daylami mare, Miss Right Note. And even though... And the second dam is by Saddle as well. So he's pretty stoutly bred on the top half of his pedigree. But if you go back, his second dam is Skating, she's a real blue hen herself. Skates has got Vancouver and Just Lamont, the dam. Both Group 1 winners. Vancouver won the Golden Slipper. But Skating herself, she was a high-class at Talac producing mare who won 7 group races from memory. And she got Murder Jill and one other good Danehill line sire. Who was it? Bradbury's Luck. There you go. But anyway, it's one of the stronger female families in the Australian stud book, and it's just quality through and through. And there's no reason not to think it's not going to produce another black type horse here. This one goes around as a 25 to 1 chance. On Thursday, I'll just bring up the market for it. Look, it's a very strong race, and being a listed race, it's probably more like a Group 2 quality race. It's a very deep race, and that's why we're getting 25 to 1 about Plato. But at 750 the place is extremely good value too. Looking at the market, we've talked about the Irish Vega form line. Well, Irish Vega goes around as a 5.5 chance, drawn out in the 15, while Plato draws 9 and will get a gun run. Third or fourth, stalking a pretty even tempo, and will be strong. Love Flemington, big track, should be strong in deep stretch. Sava Heat comes into the race as well. Plays Sambro's big unders. It's overrated as far as we're concerned. Captain Jimmy, by Jimmy Choo from the Busset and Young Yard. It's pretty well bred actually and comes into the race a bit too. Free Fly 2, the $23 chance from the Hayes Yard. It's by Teofilo. It seems pretty well bred. It's a decent chance in the race. Even Il Devo back on this maiden win 4 starts ago comes into the race, $71. And right down the bottom too, Sweet Victory. It won by 6 lengths in New South Wales on the provincial circuit last time out for the Newman Yard. And it comes down here with a decent chance at 7.5 into 7. Will it handle it going the other way? That's yet to be seen. But look, Plato from the Price Yard, Blake Shin on board, $26 to win, $7.50 the place. Off the back of that maiden win, stepping to $1,800. Will appreciate the extra $200 in trip. Will appreciate Flemington. It's big overs and it has to be played each way. It's already been 31 into 26. That's what we like. That's the first of our long shot value picks for Flemington on Thursday.